So just to start, talk about what's going on.
Today, we had the first of two public meetings to receive input for the zoning overlay for the FMS project, or the military project. The main goal was to, again, receive input to the standards that are currently being proposed. And as you heard, we did receive a lot of that input from many tried and true good Fort Smith citizens because of their concerns, and we are looking to meet those concerns.
What are the main concerns that you heard from people today?
First and foremost, the main concern is that of noise and sound attenuation. The F-35 is a loud jet. Luckily, Fort Smith has had a long history of having jets here, from the A-10s to the F-16s, going back to the F-4s. But it's been probably about a decade since they've been here. And again, the F-35 is louder. So that's their concern on what's going to happen when the jets do come. That's, again, why with this meeting today, run by our Director of Planning, Maggie Rice, to show that first, the overlay district will have three items. The three items for lighting, sound, and safety. Lighting, obviously within the blue zones that extend from each runway, are to make sure that there are no upward lights or lasers being pointed. Safety is a little different. Safety is there to make sure that the military installation is safe. Also, the area around it. But we don't want foreign adversaries. We don't want people that don't like our way of life to try to collect information. And lastly is sound, noise. You know, we have a map that is currently showing that is from the environmental impact study conducted by the United States Air Force that shows where the average day-night level of sound from 65 decibels on up will be in effect once the F-35s come here. And what we are proposing are certain sound attenuation requirements for walls and windows in order to reduce the amount of sound that gets into a home. And this is only for new construction. For homes and buildings currently in the area, we have a list provided by our Building Services Department that show what can be done to help reduce noise. We are also feverishly pursuing grants on behalf of our residents to try and help them reduce the amount of the sound that comes in their home. Because we understand this, we're balancing off the needs of our government of the United States, for our military, for our safety, and also for that of our residents and businesses that are going to be affected.
Okay.
That's a long, sorry. That's a long answer. Cut it up as you need.
Okay. Talk a little bit about, you're hearing all these concerns from people. Do you think, based on some of the feedback, there's already going to be some need for maybe some adjustments or changes to the plan?
There will be needed adjustments to the plan. One of our developers, a great local developer, is concerned about the 30-foot setback from the fence with the 188th, and also our initial proposed height limitation of 20 feet. That's why we're here. We are listening to that so we can try and incorporate it into the final, whatever goes to the Planning Commission and then the Board of Directors.
You got it. Okay. Talk about, you guys are having another input meeting coming up?
The City of Fort Smith is having a second public input session this Thursday at 5:30 here at the Blue Lion.
And what's sort of the rough timeline you guys have after that as far as these plans?
After that, of course, it depends on the amount of comments we receive and the ways we can hopefully incorporate them all. Then it will go to the Planning Commission, because all zoning changes and zoning overlays are approved by the Planning Commission. And once the Planning Commission, hopefully they approve what comes out of all of these meetings, and any final changes will then go to the Fort Smith Board of Directors for final approval.
Okay. Why do you think it's important that you guys have had so far so many citizens come in and give you guys this feedback?
It's important for a couple of reasons. Number one, we're going to be affecting everyone's lives. And so we need to have everyone's input, because there may be something that we didn't think about, or how one of the proposed rules will affect, it will have an unintended consequence that if we fix it now, like we should, it could mitigate that. And that's the goal. Or helping our residents understand now the FMS project is here, and Poland will be here in September. So people are now truly, it's real. You know, when the environmental impact study was completed last year and everything was approved, everyone was excited. And I think everyone still is. But now it's having to consider the impact. And that's what we're here for. That's what these two meetings are for, is to collect that information to see if we can make it better.
Okay.
What encouragement would you give to citizens of Fort Smith to come here and, for the next meeting and just really learn more about what's going on?
We would love to have all 200 seats filled, so they can learn and hear on what we're trying to do to balance off the needs of the United States Air Force and to train our foreign allies on the most advanced jet in the world, to protect them and to protect us, while at the same point in time we look to try and protect and reduce the impact to our residents and businesses. And this way they become much better aware of what's going on, instead of that first day when an F-35 is flying over. Some people may need to make changes or may want to make changes. Coming here, they can learn where and how much.
All right. You got anything you want to add?
Just that, like anything good, it takes a while to get there. This is important to Fort Smith. This project is transformative. We also need to make sure that we're balancing the needs of our residents and our businesses and that of the project to be a success. Fort Smith, I think, has had some close times where it could have had a transformative project and it hasn't. Now's the time. We're ready for this project, and we want to make sure our residents and our businesses are ready too.